Hi guys, welcome back to part 3. So I'm just going to continue the build where I left off. Again, you can see that, if you are building this together with me, with your kit, you might see that something is missing. There should be a drive in here, and there should be a servo in here. And the servo is in here, but this servo does not fit. I'm not sure whether I'm doing it wrong, but the size is too large. So I had to reorder the standard Orlandoo servos in, and it's a little bit annoying because I wanted the higher, strength motor, but it looks like only the original Orlandoo motors are able to fit. It's weird because, I would think that fitting the original Orlandoo motors would position the servo mount a little bit more on the center, but it doesn't look like that's the case. It's still equally offset, if you look at it, it's equally offset. So I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. Should I mount this top down? I don't know what I'm doing wrong with the servos. So the issue that I'm having right now is if I use this existing motor and the way it's positioned, which kind of looks the same if I were to use the Orlandoo servo, what will happen is this servo horn will hit on this frame. Once you turn to this direction, it will start hitting on this frame, and it will kind of push the frame outwards. It will kind of misalign everything. And this is a very strong servo. Once it hits on the frame, it starts pushing everything out of alignment, which is weird to me because I would think that, if I were to use the Orlandoo motors, and if you can see here, if I align it where it should be in the middle, the servo horn positions are almost identical, right? It's almost identical where it should be. So I'm wondering why it doesn't. I was thinking maybe the Orlandoo servos would space it out more in the middle so it doesn't hit. I'm not sure like what is wrong, right? So if I were to use this Orlandoo servo, I'm pretty sure it would have the same problems as well, which it will hit the frame. I don't know, something is weird. The other issue is the motors. You can see here now I have a N30 size motor. So I previously had the N20, and you can see the difference in size, the N20 and the N30, right? So the N20 is really weak, so I want a stronger motor. So I got the N30, and you can see the size difference. This N30 is really strong. I've tested it. Really strong motor. This is 500 RPM. I have this 500 RPM N20 motor as well. I don't really like the power, so I'm switching it out. This is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to add in the drive. I'm going to see what I can do to the steering servo. I have a mount here. I have a mount here, but I think this is for the other models, so it might not work. It might not work on this model. I'm not sure if I can mount this differently. Nope, doesn't fit. So this mount here is for another model. So it's weird. I don't know what am I supposed to do with this. It's not working out for me. If any one of you have any suggestions on what to do with this servo, how it's being mounted so that it doesn't hit the rail, please let me know. Okay. Yep. Right, let's continue with the build. I want to put the drive motor in. I'm not sure if I'm using the correct pinion or not. Maybe it's the pinion that's not right, I don't know. Let's see. I like how this mount actually covers the gears, because this is where all the dirt and the dust will go in, and it will cause issues to the longevity of the drive and the gearbox. And this actually protects the gearbox, which is really smart, and it acts as a mount. Very sturdy mount, very nice. All right, so I think I'm finally happy with where I am right now. So I got the N30 motor in. As you can see, that's more than enough space. I got this digital servo in place. I got to cut off the mounting points at the side, and I kind of screwed one of the spacers in here just to hold the servo in place. Right now it's pretty much solid. I had to kind of align the servo horn to the side a tad bit so that it doesn't hit on the frame that much. If I don't do that, it's going to hit on the frame and it's going to kill the servo because I do not have a servo saver. I do not know how this is going to impact the steering later on. We'll have to see. Steering, I'm not very happy with it right now. I'm not sure if they could have designed it better, maybe point the servo downwards so that it gets more space to move around and not hit the frame of the body. Or maybe I'm just doing it wrong, I'm not sure. Like I said, it looks to me, even though if I have the Orlandoo smaller servo arms, the weaker servo arms, I will still have the same issue as well. I don't know how you guys are doing it, right? Again, I might be doing it wrong. I do want the higher strength servo in my model anyway, so if the two servos are going to end up mounting the same and having the same issues, I'd rather have the big one. We'll see how it goes. So I just finished step 7, I would say. I'm now moving on to step 8, and there's going to be, yeah, so let's continue on step 8 and see how it goes. Okay, so I've basically finished part A, I think, and I'm moving on to step number 9, which says it says B here, which I assume we should start opening back B, back B, but there's still quite a handful of items on the A sprue or the A back. What looks like suspension pieces that are still on here that is not being utilized. I'm not sure. There is one sprue that's completely used up, so this is done. There's still 2 more sprues that has suspension items on them. There's 1 more sprue with a servo horn. I'm pretty sure this is not used anymore as well. And it's asking us to move to back B, so I'm not sure. So back B is some fender bits, some light bits as well, light buckets, and that's where the SMDs and lights kind of go in. Before we go into this, we still need to start bending some of the metal pieces, and we're moving on to, I would think, the 5th wheel. Yeah, so we're gonna cut this out and start bending this piece. I already had some parts that is bent slightly, so you need to be very careful when you're taking this out and putting it back in the box, especially that none of these parts get bent. So I was a bit uncareful, and there are some parts that are slightly bent already, which is not great. So super delicate, right? You need to be very, very delicate with this kit. It's a very complicated kit. It's very small, things are very delicate, so you need to do this with a very delicate hand. And if you don't do it, you're gonna learn things the hard way, and you're gonna lose a lot of bits. You're gonna destroy a lot of bits. So just double checking. C00019, F00019. Yeah, sorry. Okay, let's cut this out. Let's continue the build. Okay, this piece, it's just the kind of 5th wheel plate. You kind of have to bend it in multiple directions, and it's really hard to do. And how do you know that this is right? in order to know this is right, you kind of have to measure it here in this diagram, and it says 27 millimeters across if you do it right, and it will look like this. And it's so hard, I'm like kinda there, and we'll see whether it lines up with the other pieces. This is hard to do, just to keep in mind. Wow, this is hard to do. Can I just screw this into the rails, and everything is tiny. You have to count it correctly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Wow, this is hard. Whew. Okay, so I finally got the fifth wheel up and looks very nice. Today I've got the motor in, I've got the servo in, I've got the bits and pieces in. This whole fifth wheel bit, except for the top, it's all metal edge pieces, and this is difficult to do because you need to bend the metal pieces in a certain way. So take your time, do it very slowly. It's not an easy part to do. This is hard, this is difficult to make it, you know, fit perfectly in there. So take your time, like don't rush these things. I think the biggest mistake we could do is to rush it most of the time, or all the time, right? If you rush it, you're gonna make mistakes. There are mechanisms in the fifth wheel where when you pull the pin, it locks open, and then when you have a trailer go all the way in and trigger that mechanism, it should automatically lock in place. Mine gets a little stuck, and you know, it's not perfect sometimes. Wish the spring was stronger. I could, you know, you could kind of check this before putting it in. I did check it, and it was working before I screw it on. Again, tolerances are extremely small on this model, so be extremely careful. In terms of realism and scale, everything is spot on, right? Super scale. The fifth wheel has tilt function as well. The locking mechanism works. The gears, the spring, everything inside works. So it is truly awesome. But you know, if I can, I probably should open this up and add in another spring to make it stronger. I will see about that. Loving it so far. Very nice model. Look how scaled this thing is. This is exactly what it will look like in a real truck, I would assume, or when I was building the 114 Tamiya trucks, this is what it reminds me of as well. This is only in a larger scale. All of this is in metal, so not all of it, but a lot of these parts are metal parts. And for a model this small, I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed with the, you know, everything that I'm seeing so far. It's not going to be an easy model. If you are going this brand new, not skilled, you need the right tools for the job. Needle nose tweezers, right, and flat nose tweezers as well. These two items you absolutely must have. You must have these cutters, model cutters. My seller actually threw one in for free when I bought my model, and he gave this for free. If you want to, you can invest in a higher quality one, a more expensive cutter. I kind of use this electronic screwdriver as well, which is a lifesaver. It just makes things so much easier. It even has a LED light at the bottom to kind of help me, you know, see these intricate bits in between. There is 24 screws here, right, just to screw this plate together. And imagine doing it by hand. You're gonna get really tired really fast, really annoyed really fast, and you will be very impatient. So invest in a cheap, you know, electric screwdriver like this one. This was really cheap for me. I just got it off. This is the most basic one with the basic set of heads, and it works really well, right? So this basic line of screwdriver heads kind of work for me really well. Do this, right, if you're gonna start this build. So I'm gonna stop at step 14. because this is where the back fenders will come into assembly. There is some painting that I want to do. I want to paint the fenders white color, so I need to prime it, I need to paint it, and I'm going to do all of that offline. Yeah, I plan to do the painting offline, and then the next time I come back, this part should be already painted and good to go, and we will continue the build from there. I'm still pretty concerned about the steering bit. I'm not sure if I should jump ahead to start doing the steering. Yeah, I'm pretty concerned on the steering bit. I'm really worried if I didn't get it aligned properly, you know, how is it going to impact the steering mechanism and so on. I'm concerned. I wish the steering was done in a different way. I don't like it as of now. I wish there was a different mount where you can mount it facing downwards so that the horn has a free position to move around. Yeah, I really don't like how it is being worked on right now. The other thing, now that I think about it, is my remote. I talk about this remote a lot, right? So kind of like this simplified remote, but from the looks of it, I think I need to have endpoints for the steering. If not, it's going to give me issues down the road, and it's either I get a servo saver or I invest in a larger, a better remote. Like this simplified remote, it doesn't have endpoints, and that's going to be a problem, I think. I'm a bit worried. I'm a bit concerned. I hope it comes out well, so we'll have to see further down the road. If it's going to cause me issues, I will switch out the electronics and we'll see how it goes. Still loads of I'm very thick, and I'm not even halfway there yet. So stay tuned for the next one, and we'll see how it goes together. Okay, bye.